mainly because Discord was having a problem. I'm very, very sorry. But we will continue with this CTR Guild Town Hall. We don't do these very often because the guild runs along so dang smoothly. But we figured that we got to have one before BFA hits, or BFA, or BFA, or Battle for Azeroth, whatever you want to say for that. So here we are. And welcome to it. I hope you guys are all enjoying the story so far. It's been controversial and interesting and for some upsetting, and that's not a bad place to start an expansion. And I hope that you guys are going to have a lot of fun with this. And tonight, what we will do is we'll actually hear from Barfolomew about greeter stuff and other things. As we head towards BlizzCon, we are also going to hear from Turarts, who leads our event team, and then we also have So the other thing is I hit my head earlier on a door, which is why you're not seeing me on camera right now, because it's a little bloody. So we're also going to hear from our raid liaisons as well. So. Get ready for that. So we'll hear from Ash and hopefully he's around. Is he on?
I am here.
Okay. Hello, Ash, and thanks for having solid internet right now.
I promise nothing.
Well, at least we got that. So welcome everybody, and I hope you're having a good time. And for those guys that are new, thank you so much for being a part of the Convert to Raid Guild. And for those guys that are veterans or returning players, welcome to it. It should be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to hosting everybody as we go through the next chapter in World of Warcraft and beyond. So let me just jump to somebody else here for a second, and that would be Barfolomew. Barfolomew leads our greeter team, which helps welcome everybody into the guild. And I'm sure that we have some new rules because of the allied guys and stuff like that. And then we also have to talk about all the stuff happening at BlizzCon too, right, Barf?
Oh yeah, man. I have a little bit of a throat thing, so I apologize if I sound funny. But I do want to say, first of all, that the welcoming committee, as far as I can tell, is fully staffed for the expansion. So you guys should be able to be taken care of for all of your greetery needs without any kind of real delay. However, if the need arises and I need more staffing, I will make announcements via the newsletter and via the Converted podcast. So if it turns out that I need more officers, that's where I'm going to make those announcements. Just a quick reminder to everybody, and I'm sure anybody listening probably already knows the score on this one. You guys are the sort that come out to these sorts of meetings, but just a reminder, the CTR LFO channel is where you want to look for anything that you need help with as far as officer assistance, getting an alt into the guild or whatever you need, because that's where the officer's focus is going to be. Every once in a while, I see somebody asking in guild for a guild invite. Hey, can I switch to an alt or whatever? It's totally fine. But the officers aren't necessarily going to be watching guild chat as closely as maybe they would be the officer chat. So it would be faster for you to get help if that's where you're looking for it. Pat mentioned level requirements for allied races. So I'm just going to go across all of them real quick. If you have one of those new allied races, the minimum level for entry into Convert Trade is level 25. Death Knights have level 60. Demon Hunters are level 100. And all the rest of them, vanilla, regular races and classes are 15 still.
So basically, it's level 15 for all the new players. If you play anything else, it's 5 levels over wherever you started.
Yeah,
right?
Pretty much. 5 levels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really, the only other piece I had as far as greeter business is I haven't done a purge in a while, and my plan is to do one in a few weeks. So just to smooth the transition of, hey, it's a new expansion, and I'm going to switch to this alt that I know I'm going to be playing. Feel free to cycle your alts just to make sure we don't have those 60-day inactives. I wanted to deliberately wait until after the expansion launched so that people coming back to the game found themselves in the guild that they thought they were going to be in. But we are going to be doing one probably a few weeks from now. So everybody be prepared for that happening. And that's really all I had as far as greeter business. However, I do have an announcement to make about BlizzCon. This is going to specifically impact any Convert to Raid members or community members at large that will be in attendance at BlizzCon in California. However, we're doing our best to accommodate the at-home audience as well in whatever ways that we can. I'm sure you guys are all aware we're not having a CTR party this year, but we still kind of wanted to do something for the guild to make it special. I was having a chat with some of our guildies, and we came to the conclusion that, yeah, okay, we're going to. And we came to the conclusion that having a party or a meetup was going to be, expensive and logistically very difficult, and a couple of other problems that we're going to come up with that. But, uh-oh, I'm seeing.
Hold on.
Twitch, did I lose everybody?
Hold on one second. Are you still there?
I'm here, yeah.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I had a little bit of a technical snafu. We're all good right now, so don't worry about it. So
Okay, cool.
So for BlizzCon, what's happening? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I'll start from the top. Basically, myself and some of the guildies were chatting, and we came to the conclusion that just because there wasn't going to be a CTR party didn't mean that we couldn't do something special for the guild. So the conclusion that we came to that we felt would be the best thing that we could implement as a team was going to be a series of smaller meetups and gatherings at BlizzCon. These events are going to be open to all guildies and friends and community members at large, but we're going to be advertising them specifically within the guild. Each event is going to have a leader, like a raid leader, that's going to corral everybody and okay, we're all going to meet at this place and at this time to do this thing, right? All of the announcements for what we're going to be doing, when we're going to be doing them, and where we're going to be doing them are going to be made through the CTR Discord. The goal here is, we want to facilitate an easy way for guildies to meet up with other guildies, to meet friends, to hang out, and to go places and do cool stuff together. We have a bunch of ideas on paper. We don't really have anything set in stone yet, except for the one thing we really, really want to push for is we want to have, as best as we can get it, the entire Convert to Raid representation at BlizzCon to group up in one place at one point to get a big guild photo. Like everybody who gets there, all of us together all in one point. So that's going to be one of the events that we have planned for the weekend. The plan is to have stuff going on outside of the convention, inside of the convention, during the weekend of the convention, and the couple of days before, for the people who get there ahead of time. We would like to do some stuff for the at-home crowd as well. We have plans to do stuff on Twitter as far as photos and that sort of thing, sort of share the experience, because I know a lot of the at-home audience likes to live vicariously through the social media interaction that we have there. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. Like I said, most of the events are sort of written in pencil, but we're going to spend the next couple of months solidifying things, and when we get a solid BlizzCon schedule, we're actually going to be able to put times and dates and locations on different events, and we'll get all that published basically as soon as we're able to. That's the battle plan as it stands.
Right. Anything else? Well, and really the big thing, like you said, was the photo, right? So that's
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be
really excited about this photo idea. I think it's going to be like in my mind, it's going to be one of those really, really big things that people talk about for a long time. Like, look at this guild that came out. Look at all these bazillions of people who are all hanging out together and big smiles and all that. I think it's going to be rad.
It should be good. It should be good. So I'm looking forward to it. And like Barf said, it's all kind of in progress right now. So, and it's all going to be kind of a little more, hey, here's what's going on. Come join us. And if you can, that would be wonderful. And especially for the photo, that would be great. I would love to get a big, huge photo. We always get like the big, we get, every year with the CTR party, we get like 100 pictures of groups of 3, but it would be kind of interesting to see how everybody looks as one giant group. Which would be a lot of fun.
I'm excited about that. I'm excited about being able to like be a location for guildies to go, oh, gee, I don't know what we're going to do tonight. Oh, yeah, wait, no, CTR is having a thing over at so-and-so place. And like be a way to create opportunities for guildies to hang out with guildies. Like that's
right.
I'm excited about that.
And some of the ideas are pretty cool, and so we'll see exactly how that all kind of washes out, and as we get closer to BlizzCon, which is only a couple of months away, really. So that's exciting. I'm really digging that. Okay, Ash, are you still with us?
I am, I believe.
Congratulations, number one. I know that you were having some internet challenges as well tonight, so that's great.
Yeah. It's been a rough couple of days when you're trying to get everything ready for the expansion, and you don't know whether or not you're going to have internet when it launches.
Right. So why don't you talk about raid liaison stuff for all the raid leaders out there and for all the raid members out there? How are things looking as we approach BFA?
Hold on a second. I've just been told that I'm a little loud, so give me just a second. Am I good?
Well, I mean, it's you're pagan, as they say. So, if you can turn down just a little bit, that would be great. But
yeah, is that better?
We'll see. I would just go.
Okay. So, as we're closing out Legion, I want to, first give a big congratulations to all the teams that got there, AOTCs, and everyone for. I mean, in my opinion, I think Legion was probably one of our best raid expansions so far. I just think from top to bottom, it was fantastic. A lot of really iconic fights that were great, and a lot of good teams coming together and getting those bosses down. So what I want to mention going forward into Battle for Azeroth is number one is to make sure that our team leaders are keeping their rosters up to date. I know progression for progression tracking for a lot of them is very important. We announce progression tracking, or how teams have progressed on the Converted every week. Our other raid liaison, Echelon, comes on and does a new kill count, every 2 weeks on the show. He does a great job with that, making sure that he doesn't leave anybody out. So if you haven't caught the show live and you want to kind of get some shout outs to your raid team, I definitely recommend it. It's every other Monday. And Ash will mention your team's progression throughout the next expansion. Sorry, bringing up my notes again. So the progress trackers that we use 2 different ones. We actually had one, the official guild progress tracker we had some personnel real life things go on. So the guild one kind of went down for a little while, but thankfully we have a guild member named Taman who's been very good at keeping his external guild progression site up. It's called CT Raid Progress. And and that's what Esh typically uses to track that. As of right now, I think it tracks. It basically tracks kill timers with people on listed on our site rosters. So that's why it's so important to keep your rosters up to date. And I believe the plan is to have our internal guild progress tracker back up and running by Old Year, but no promises. We're still working on that. Other big thing that there's been a lot of talk about is using WoW Progress for our teams. Now, this is something that I want every team to be able to use because it's a great way for, especially our higher progression tiers, our mythic teams, our higher heroic teams. It's a great way for them to recruit from outside of the guild. The problem is that the tools don't exactly work efficiently or the way we want them to, and we're still trying to figure that out. And I know we've been saying that for at least 6 to 8 months right now, but it's just something that we have to keep working on. But for now, what we're planning on doing is adding each team's info and raid times to their proper co-guilds in WoW Progress, and I will be updating either bi-weekly or monthly updates to the teams or to the tabs for recruitment needs for the teams. So what I want to make sure we do is have our raid leaders, if they have a change in recruitment needs, shoot an email over to the ctrraids@gmail.com. Give us your team name, your raid times, and your recruitment needs moving forward. And then once if those change, if you get all your recruitment that you need, or you drop a couple melee DPS, need to pick up some range DPS, and you want to change that, just let us know. But we'll keep it as is until we hear differently from our team leaders. We're trying to find ways as well to allow our mythic rating teams, give them more tools. I know we've also been saying this for a while, and we've made some progress in helping them with that. The WoW Progress thing will be a big thing. There's a couple other things in the works that we're trying to figure out logistically about possible bank tabs or something for our mythic only rating teams, because we just have too many teams to try to give everybody a bank tab. But mythic teams, because they require so much more stuff, that might be something that we're trying to look into.
It gets kind of tough though, you know, and this is the thing that we struggle with all the time. And just so you kind of know where Ash is coming from, we try to make sure that everybody's on equal footing, so that we can't just look out for the mythic teams. We're trying to figure it out still. Yeah,
hence the logistics part of it is you know, we don't want to make anyone feel left out, but we also still want to be able to accommodate, you know, some of the teams that need that. So like I said, it's something that the idea is there, and we're trying to find a way to make it work for everybody. You know, so it's just I can't really go into anything more about that and trying to figure out, you know, what we can do for everyone at that point. So the last thing I'll really mention is like Barf mentioned, of doing an inactive person or an inactive member purge in a few weeks. We are planning, or I will be planning on doing a inactive team purge prior to Old Year opening. So Old Year opens 3 weeks after launch. I believe it's the 3 weeks Tuesday. So it's not Monday, but it's Tuesday. And so prior to that, I will set all the inactive teams in our guild site to inactive if they haven't had a certain amount of progress. Basically, my gauge right now is any team that doesn't have any progress in Taurus will be considered inactive, unless their team leader gets in touch with me saying, "Oh, we're coming back for Old Year, but we weren't active for Taurus." So that's basically a simple criteria I'm going to use. And Taurus, we were in for roughly 8 months. So if you don't have any progress, I mean, from normal, heroic, or mythic, we'll consider the team inactive. And then all you have to do, if your team comes back or was inactive and comes back, all you have to do is, again, shoot us an email at ctrraids@gmail.com and say, we are going to be active in Uldir, and can you please just set us back to active? And it's a little switch that we do in the admin side of things. So it's really simple to get that back going. I really want to see what we can do going into it. I think we have a lot of fantastic teams that are filled with a lot of fantastic people, and it's just going to be a great way to start off BFA. And last point is, if you're interested in creating a new team and you don't know how, you can again shoot us an email at the CTR Raids email, and we will walk you through how to create a team using the website, so that your new team, adding players to your roster, and so you can get that going for progression. Other than that, I think I'm about done. I'm glad my internet was able to stay active for the time I was talking.
Right. And thank you, Ash. So just so you guys know, if you go over to guild.convertraid.com, that's where you can find out a lot of the information that Ash was actually talking about. You go over there, you log in, you go over to you go over and you can create or look for new raid teams. That's part of what can happen over at guild.convertraid.com. And you can also look and see events, and we'll get to Turarts here in just a second. We'll talk a little bit about events. And before we do that, however, I kind of want to piggyback on what Ash was saying, because there was another thing that came along in with Battle for Azeroth, or the pre-patch, and that was communities. And we were very hopeful when it came to communities and what they could do and what they would mean for the CTR guild. And we got some news from people that worked over at Blizzard that was not great for Convert to Raid. It's great just in general. It's great. These tools are great. These community things are great. So there's cross-game communities, which we have for CTR. There is also an in-game community for CTR that is alliance side only. The problem with that is the in-game community is 1,000 people, 1,000 characters. And with the in-game community, you have to join on each individual character. So it may be overloaded right now. I'm not sure exactly what the last count was, but the CTR in-game community, Discord works better. Greenwall works better. So we're just going to stick with what we know on that stuff. The cross-game stuff is a little bit better because that bases it off of battle tag, but it's still a 1,000 person limit. So that means that it doesn't necessarily work for our needs. So unfortunately, communities is one of those things that is going to be used from time to time, but it's not going to be a major player in what we do here at CTR. It just can't be, because we're trying to make sure that we can take care of as many people as possible. So Discord and Greenwall are still the way to go, even though tonight Discord really upset me by not letting me play right away with you guys. Little server problems or whatever. I don't know. Was there anything else about communities that I know that we had many discussions about this stuff. It's just it's not something that we can use.
Yeah, believe me, I was one that was kind of pushing for some sort of guild community, I think more than anybody else, because of how it could affect our raid teams in a positive way. But as soon as we heard about that 1,000-player cap, it literally shot every single clan we had down. And until they make a change on that, we can't move forward with any other plans with it. And as disappointing as that is, I mean, I am happy that we have a manageable alternative with Greenwall and with all the other in-game stuff. So it's not as convenient as it could be, but at least we can get all of what we need done with it. So
right. But at least, you know, we do have Greenwall, and that's an amazing add-on. And we do have Discord when it lets me do things on with it. I mean, that's great, which is most of the time, 99.9% of the time, except for when I try to start a CTR town hall. So, and then it says, no, you must wait. So there. So now we're going to bring in Turarts. Turarts, hello.
Hey.
Hi. So Turarts is a part, and actually, pretty much, well, it's Turarts and Barf and Sal and Echelon, and you guys are all part of The Converted, which is a great podcast. And if you guys are new to the guild, or a veteran of the guild and you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check out The Converted, which is every 2 weeks. When is the next one, T?
The next one is actually this Monday, and we are going to be doing a different kind of podcast. We're going to be in Discord hanging out with everyone, just talking about what we're liking from this expansion, or maybe, twiddling our thumbs waiting for servers to come back up. But we're just going to kind of have a nice chill podcast to launch off the expansion. So join us in Discord. We'll be at the twitch.tv/converted podcast. But yeah, it's going to be kind of fun. It's a podcast for the guild, so we're going to spend our expansion launch hanging out with the guild.
Very, very cool. And also, you are the events leader for the guild. What's happening on that front? How are things looking for you guys?
We are all very, very excited for the launch of expansion. Because with the passing of any expansion, we kind of hit a lull. No one really wants to LFR. Everyone's kind of waiting. So we are all gearing up. I know Silverbolt has already approached me, and she's ready to get back into action planning events, and a few other event planners. So guild.converttrade.com. I know Pat mentioned it earlier, but that is a great place for all your guild stuff, because there's an awesome calendar on there that will have events. We do not use the in-game calendar. There is not a good way to get it across 10 guilds. If it's an event that only can have 25 people, it's hard to know who signed up first. So events do not go on the in-game calendar. So we ask you to watch guild.converttrade.com and follow the Twitter. Usually a tweet goes out the day of, the week before, so it's always on there as well. And of course, the guild chat. As far as events coming up, I am looking for at least one more event planner to kind of round out staff, just so we can make sure we keep things going. So if it sounds like something you're interested in, shoot me a DM on Discord. I am Turarts on Discord, or email ctrguildevents@gmail.com. That is events with an S. But yeah, we're really excited for the expansion coming up. But there is one thing that happens in 5.5 months. And that is the CTR 6-year anniversary.
Wow.
And I know, it's amazing. Last year we celebrated 5 years. So it was all about the guild, all about kind of where we've come and stuff like that. For year 6, what I want to do is I want to focus on you, the guild, the people who have been here for a day or for 6 years. So I'm really wanting you guys to help me out and give me ideas for events you want to see, for stuff you want to do, things like that, so we can really make this your anniversary. As always, I'm looking for prizes. You can send them in-game to Turarts. But yes, we are really looking forward to the 6th year. It's amazing that this has been so strong for that long.
Yep, it is. It is, and it's only 6 months away. So there's no time to prepare for it whatsoever.
I have to start now. There's so much that goes into it. But yes, 6 years. So it's amazing.
You're always so funny, because you're like, it's 6 months away, and I'm like, that seems like so far. But then BlizzCon hits, and then it's a blink of an eye from there, and it really does go quickly. So
it does. Plus, one event I can tell you guys, because we do it every year, we do a free raffle where everyone who signs up gets a prize, and those prizes have to come from somewhere, and that's usually me grinding ICC over and over. Actually, a lot of people help out getting prizes. It's not just me. So many people donate, and you all are amazing. But yes, if you want to mail me prizes, it helps. Anyway, check out the guild calendar, guys. I really am looking for at least one more. So if you're interested, let us know. And like I said, we don't use the in-game calendar. It's just not a good add-on unless you want to create one for us that manages it how we would need it for the 10 guilds.
Yeah,
we're kind of looking at communities, maybe.
Maybe it's tough when you can only have 1,000 players in the thing, though. So it's tough. And who knows, maybe they'll up the amount of players that can go into communities at some point. That would be really great. Until then, we're kind of in limbo-ish area here. So it's a tough spot. But if you know how to create add-ons and you find something that works, great. We'd love to talk to you about that stuff for sure.
I think that's all I have for events, though.
Okay. So if you guys have questions, now is the time to do it. We will be looking in Discord in event text chat. That is the room where we will take questions in Discord or on Twitch. So if you're at twitch.tv/converttrade, you can ask questions in there, and we can talk all about the stuff that you guys want to talk about. I did talk to Macus, and he was pretty confident that the guild, all the site stuff would be updated for Old Deer, so it would be up in time for that. Just so you're aware. Because I know that we also had the CTR raid progress stuff as well, and that'll be going on. So,
yeah, we'll use both just so we don't miss anything.
Right.
I mean, they basically catch all the same stuff, anyways. I wasn't sure if Macus was going to have enough time to finish all the stuff by the time Old Year launches, but if he can, that's fantastic. So yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah, exactly.
I do have one question. It's actually from Sal. It's
Okay.
kind of important. She is wanting to know, Mr. Pat Crane, when are we going to be getting that Horde Guild?
All right. So, as per usual, I will say the same thing that I've said every time. Unfortunately, you need to make choices. This is a game of choices, and one of those choices is red versus blue. Red or blue. You can only pick one. And we have made our decision. So we have made our decision as blue. We will stay blue. And if you want to go red, there are many other guilds that are great at red. AIE is a great red guild. Bots over on Boulder Fist is a great red guild. Blood of the Scribe. And there are many, many others. We, however, are blue. There is no purple, and especially for Bifa or Battle for Azeroth, where we are really going red versus blue, there is no purple. So that's what we have for you. Even though we have extra character slots and we could probably, maybe, possibly do it, it's a lot of work.
No. Pat, don't do this.
I'm not gonna.
If you want to go burn world trees, there are plenty of other guilds that will let you.
So heartbreaking. So heartbreaking.
I did have one other thing that I forgot to mention, and that was something that Sal, actually, it was a more legitimate thing. She would like me to make sure that all of our team leaders here is, if you are looking to get your team noticed a little bit more, she and Turarts and Barf are always looking for guests on the Converted, and you just have to get in touch with her about scheduling a time and place or a Monday to come on and get your team some much deserved recognition.
Yes, indeed. Let's see. What else? Any other questions? We had Zeph ask a question about getting better coffee in the guild kitchen. That is sure. We'll make it 10% better.
We do have a question. How does one join CTR by Kens? And that is actually a great question. I think we take advantage that we all kind of know how to do that.
Right.
I think that's Barf's area of expertise.
It would be Barf. Barf, go for it.
Super duper easy. Oh my goodness, the easiest thing in the world is the easiest thing. You go to guild.converttrade.com/apply, and there is a short application process there that you fill out once and once only. And after you have finished it, you don't fill it out again. Then, at the end of it all, it gives you instructions about going into the game. You log into an Alliance character on Aerie Peak US that meets the level requirements as listed on the page. and you join. You do /join space CTRLFO. That stands for Convert Trade Looking for Officer. And then you make a message in there that says, "Hi, I'm looking for an officer." And one of my guys comes and finds you and goes, "Hey, you seem like you need a guild invite." They do a little bit of paperwork on the back end to get you a guild invite. We're all said and done. After that, you're going, I'm going to try and bring in an alt. I got removed from the guild for inactivity because I didn't play for 4 months, but now I'm back again, and I want to play the game. You don't do the application. You don't do any of that. You just join CTRLFO and ask to speak with an officer. They will take care of you from that point.
Right.
That's all you got to do.
It's
Super
pretty
easy.
It's pretty easy. And for all the folks that put in many hours on making that a thing, I really do appreciate it. Actually, everybody appreciates it because it is just so easy. It's kind of like the One Ring. There is one app to rule them all. So for all your alts, you don't have to worry about it ever again, which is great. I was gonna say, also you can always jump into Discord as well. If you're not in game or whatever, and you want to see if there's an officer on, and you're gonna jump into game or whatever, you can always check out Discord as well. We have a CTR LFO channel in there as well. So if you're looking for officer, so yeah. Any other questions? Are we seeing any other questions in the?
There was actually one earlier that Staler put in asking if BFA brings us any improvements or updates to the raid calendar project that was ongoing over the summer. And I'm not sure if that's something that I'm trying to remember if we had any projects for a raid calendar. Is this on the website, Staler, or was this through something else?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it would be.
Yeah.
So
so if we can get some clarification on that question, but I'm not seeing anything else just yet. But now is the time to speak up. To have a centralized location to find raid teams and times. Yeah, right now, searching through teams, you can do that on the website. As far as finding times that you like, and you can search through teams that way. As far as putting together a calendar to make it a little easier to see, I think that's something that we'd have to find out through Macus. I'm not sure about that project.
We can talk to him and see what's up. I know that he's always a busy guy, so we will check in with him and see what's happening with that. Hopefully, we'll have an update for you soon.
So Galvinid asks, how do we update the rosters on the raid team for the website? That's fairly simple as well, Galvinid. So what you do is if you are a team lead or a raid assist, and you have access to manage the team, let me bring up the site. Basically, you would log into my CTR, and there should be a list of the teams that you're on. And if you're listed as the raid leader or the raid assist, there should be a manage team button. And what that will let you do is go to a admin side of the page that will let you add or remove roster spots or players for roster spots. And then what we'll do on the backside is just make sure that we'll refresh the team, and so the progress can track. As long as we have we don't have the 80% in the same co-guild requirements anymore. So all the refreshing of the team we'll do from our end is make sure that we have all the right API data so that the progression trackers can grab that information for the kills, so that the progression can be counted properly. If you have any further questions, like I said earlier, I think I mentioned it plenty of times about that. Very easy, just email me. I have the emails on my phone, so email me at ctrraids@gmail, and we can get that sorted out for you if you're having any trouble with that.
All right, and I know that Sal has been asking questions that she already knows the answer to in Twitch, but I'll go over them anyway. Why can't you join the CTR guild at level 1? That's because we say level 15 so that we can all play together, and basically 5 levels up for all of those new characters, just to make sure that you like your character, and that you're willing to go further into the journey of that character. It's just a little buffer period so that you know that you understand what's going on with the game, and that you enjoy your character, and that you can enjoy your character and play with everybody else. So there. Also, why are guild repairs still 75 gold a day? That's because they haven't updated the way that guilds earn money. And so we have to put a limit on it because we have a lot of raiders, and they all get the 75 gold repair. And I think all the guilds are losing money at this point. We've been losing money for years, and we will continue to lose money. And we're trying to max out the benefits that we got back in was it MOP? I think it was MOP,
so.
with all the guild perks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so we no longer get those, and I'm really angry at Blizz for that. But they did what they did, and they had their reasons, and
yeah, feel free to make any and all gold donations to your guild bank to help out with that.
Yeah.
And maybe at some point we can update or increase the amount of guild repairs you get.
And Sal asks a follow-up question: why does Blizzard hate us? They actually don't. They really love us. I have been told. So, maybe not everybody, but most everybody over at Blizzard really likes us. They like us guys, and they expect that for those guys that are going to BlizzCon, when you go to BlizzCon, make sure to say, hello, my name is so-and-so, and I'm from the CTR guild. Replace so-and-so with your actual character name or whatever. And they will say, oh, hey, how's it going? I'm guessing. They will start a conversation with you. So there. Any other questions out there? Fist asked if my head was okay, and it is now. It's better now, but oof, I really whacked my melon right before I jumped on here. So sorry if I've been a little loopy.
I do have a question in game, but it seems like it's still sort of coming in, so I'm going to give that one a second. But I had one in Twitch from Kara. She was asking about a guild leadership list that she apparently had spoken to you about or something.
I do not recall this. It could be the smack to the melon, however, though. So I don't know if looking for a leadership list. Was that the question?
Sounds like something maybe we might. I think it was. I'm not sure. It wasn't. It was worded as though it was like a. Could you check in on it or something? So okay, it's something that we can probably follow up on after the fact then.
Sure. And the easiest thing really is to look in Discord. It's pretty easy because if you see somebody in purple, they are an officer. Purple or a different color than you. So I mean it's kind of one of those things.
Oh, I see. She clarified. Like more a list of what officers are responsible for what in the guild.
Oh, so here's the thing. All officers can help you initially with whatever. There are some that are probably going to say, hey, listen, if you could jump into, CTR LFO and ask somebody there, they will probably be able to help you with getting into the guild, because I'm not really super familiar with that. But if you approach any officer, they should be able to at least help you through the process in some way, either by getting you to the right area or to the right person, or possibly asking around in Discord. Every officer should be able to help you in some way. So it's not up to you to know who is a greeter or who is an events person or who is whatever. We should all have basic knowledge about where to go in the guild to be able to help you. So please approach anybody and we should hopefully, you know, unless we're super busy or AFK or something like that, we should be able to help you with whatever task you have.
Cool.
Yeah.
I also had 2 from somebody in game. Jovinist wants to know, to make more money, why not assign raid groups to guilds? I think we actually already do that, don't we?
Correct. We do that, and we try to spread them out as much as possible. But it's to get the gold benefit from the one remaining perk that we have. There's basically only so much gold you can earn in a week as a guild, and most of our guilds do that anyways. It's like a raid boss kill, but you only get like 1 of those per week. It's, I think, dungeons completed, and it's like 5 a week, and maybe some battlegrounds or something. I think there's a PvP one too, but it's not a lot of money. It's like a total of like, I don't know, 2,000 gold a week. So it's considering how many teams that we have, the math doesn't add up as far as using those as viable options for income. There are other ways we can, you know, try to make money to keep the guild repairs and such going, but that is not the most effective way.
Dancing on mailboxes is probably more effective. It might be.
I find that to be highly effective.
Barf, you're up this week for that task. So I'm just letting you know.
Good. Yeah.
I have a couple of questions here in Discord. Staler's asking about a war mode sub-guild or sub-community, and Buckwister is asking about if we have any plans for a Mythic Plus sub-community. He knows it's not just quite for raiding. As far as sub-communities, I'll let Pat speak to that, but I know that you can use the team builder that we've had for non-raid teams. So you can do Mythic Plus teams. You can do just basic dungeon teams. You can do PvP teams. It doesn't have to be for a raid team. It's set up so that you can have a small team. You can have a regular rated Battlegrounds team or an arena team. However you want to use it for. It's not meant to be limited to raid teams. The raid progression would obviously only track for the raid teams. It's not going to track Mythic Plus progression or, you know, stuff like that. We do have one particular group that uses it fairly well. The COD Squad uses it, and they do wonderful things with helping, you know, people pull through regular dungeons, Mythic Pluses, that sort of thing. They're a fantastic group. COD is a great guy. I'm really looking forward to meeting him at BlizzCon this year because he's coming out. But yeah, as far as the making an actual sub community or a sub guild for it, for war mode or for Mythic Pluses, I think Pat would be the one to answer that question.
Yeah, as far as that stuff goes, we do have. I am totally up for whatever. I just want to make sure that it makes sense. So, as far as a sub community for it, like I was talking about before, I mean, as far as like, you know, the in-game communities that Blizzard offers, that won't do. I mean, it's not going to work for a guild our size, and if we can't help everybody, or if it can't be used by everybody, then we're not going to necessarily support that. So I can definitely do something with either Discord or something, but I would probably put it in Discord if I were to do anything with it. And if there,
I think that makes a lot more sense than something like a community, because again, we don't know how the communities don't have functions the way that we need them to,
right,
as is. So using them for a Mythic Plus or a PvP and type gameplay wouldn't be any more effective. So I think Discord is the best option, and then use the team builder to build your rosters up.
Right, and we do in Discord, we do have a section for PvP and for 5-mans under group content, and so you can go there if you really want to. If you want me to change the name of PvP to War Mode or something like that, I can totally do that as well. That's a super quick change that is just kind of a facelift to what we already have in Discord. But yeah, no, I don't think sub-communities are the answer that would benefit the most people in the guild. So there. And you were totally right about COD Squad. Those guys are fantastic. So let's see. Any other questions that you guys are seeing out there?
Yeah, I did have another one from Jovinist, actually.
Okay.
He was curious about the process for starting a new raid team, presumably on the raid builder tool.
Right. So the process is you would go to the guild website and log in, just like you would if you were going to look for a team. Give me a second here. So you go to guild.convertraid.com, you log in, and there is, give me just 1 second. My dog's going nuts at somebody. Hold on.
I don't know what you mean. Dogs never do that.
Right. You log in and you click on My CTR. Once you get there, if you're already on raid teams, there will be a list of the ones you're on. If you want to create a new one, there's a button right in the top right corner that says Create a Team. It's green. It's easy to see, and that will give you basically a step-by-step process is how to set up your team and your leadership for your team, what you're recruiting for, what your raid times are, and then once you finalize the team, pick a team name, all that stuff, it'll go through to the admin side, and one of the raid liaisons will approve it as long as the name isn't too obscene, or as long as it's family friendly. Then there's no real, we just basically need to be notified. We get emails saying new team has been created. So we go in, we approve the team, and then once you do that, you can start building your roster. And again, you just go to the same place and you hit manage team to start adding players to your roster. And it'll ask for, I think it'll just ask for the team name and the co-guild if it does that. But if it doesn't say the co-guild, the admin side of things, when we go in to refresh the team for progression stuff, we'll catch what co-guild it's in, and it's pretty simple.
Yeah. Also, I just want to for all the guys that are here and hanging out and all that kind of stuff. If one of the other things when you're signing up for a new tune or whatever, when you go to convertraid.com/apply, is it guild.convertraid.com/apply? Is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So when you go there, you will also see all of our guidelines for player behavior and naming conventions and all of that kind of stuff. The reason that we have all of that is because we are a giant guild, if you haven't noticed, and we are trying to make it fun and enjoyable for everybody. And so the only way to do that is to make sure that everybody kind of has a starting point for how to look at all this stuff. So basically, we're trying to make sure that naming conventions are family friendly, trying to make sure that, and by family friendly, I just mean it's not overtly wrong. Morally gray, we could talk about that for a lot for BFA. Morally gray, when you're on the line, it hurts our brains. So just don't do that. Just be nice, and you can all play along with everybody else. That's really great. And then when it hits that line, we go, I have to think about this. And sometimes stuff happens where maybe a character doesn't get in the guild because of how you spelled something. And that can be a difficult thing for everybody, because we want to accept everybody into the guild and all that kind of stuff. And also make sure that you're playing well with others in this guild. We do have repercussions for people that don't play well with others. And I don't normally have to deal with that a lot, and I really appreciate it, guys. I really appreciate that we all get along together and that we're all having a good time, and that we're all kind of going along with that guild credo of CTR, which is community, teamwork, and respect. And we hope that you can follow that principle throughout your time here at CTR Guild, and carry that forth with you wherever you go in World of Warcraft, because there's no reason to be a jerk. There just isn't. No good reason. Anyway, so there. Let's see. Any other questions that you guys are seeing? Okay. Well, I think that will probably do it then. If you do have questions, make sure to go to Discord and we can try to figure it out. You can go to, where's a good place? So if you go to Guild Stuff, and you can either say it in CTR Guild, that channel, or the Looking for Officer channel or something like that. If you have a question, just pop in there. Ask your question. You can even tag me, and I will try to respond as best I can, or Barf, or Turarts, or Ash, and we will try to respond appropriately. And so there you have it. That's probably the best way to do it, is Discord. Or you can always email us, ctrofficers@gmail.com. There are also other ones for events and for raids and stuff like that. But if you go to ctrofficers@gmail.com, that is the main one. We can forward it to whomever. That's totally fine. And we will try to help you with your query as it stands. And now I've given the idea to have a Pat tagging party in Discord. Perfect. Perfect. If I don't respond right away, don't worry about it. It's just that, I'm still disoriented from banging my head on a door. That was fun. Okay, so that's going to be it. My thanks to Barf and to T and to Ash and to you guys for joining us. And I'm sorry that I didn't have video up and rolling. But yeah, things were not fun on this end when Discord wasn't working and I had to restart everything, and that always makes it difficult. So, yes, Ashleen, no naughty names. If you need anything, let us know. And until then, I guess we're going to say, I hope you guys have a lot of fun as Battle for Azeroth begins next week on Tuesday. Already it is here. And it's going to be so fun. And some of us are going to go total war mode on that disreputable horde. So there. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. For officers, I think that I will probably be in some other chat room here in a minute. So there. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Cool. Bye, everybody. I love you.